Thank you, Marbai, for transferring this to me. One of the things that I will say here is that SAP it's not just a software that you use to integrate business dealings or business transactions. It's basically, a lot of people would say that this is a means to an end, but it's the question is means to what end? The end that we're trying to achieve at the end is a clearer vision, a clean set of accounts, a clean integration, real time setup between different modules, between different functions of the business. Without going into the technical part, it the software, because it's so integrated, and my redundancy is there no more, because previously what we had to do is we would record something in procurement, link it with finance, then record separately for accounts payable, and it was a lot of delayed reporting, because at the end of the day, we're trying to achieve that. Now, SAP is helping us better manage complex business processes by giving the employees of different departments easy access to those real-time insights across the enterprise. It accelerates their workflows, it improves their operational efficiency, it raises effectively their productivity and saves a lot of time. Just in a nutshell, to tell you how grand the SAP scale is, it has over 109,000 employees from 157 countries, 34 billion plus total revenue from financial year 2024, 300 million plus subscribers in cloud user base, 100 plus different development locations worldwide. Then it's the sustainability rating, or the MSCI ESG rating, is AAA, which is good to have. And it's in the top 5% of organizations that are going green. If I'm talking about customers, SAP customers generate about 84% of total global commerce, which shows how deeply SAP is embedded in the economy. 98% of the world's 100 largest companies are SAP customers, and 97 of the 100 greenest companies also run SAP systems. Additionally, 85 of the largest companies use SAP S/4HANA, and it's important that SAP is not just for large companies. Around 80% of its customer base is small and medium sized enterprise businesses, which shows how flexible and scalable the solutions are. Moving on to the next question, when you're trying to understand what SAP has, it's okay, we understand what it is. How do we deploy it? Basically, it provides you multiple options, because it understands that your users can work with different application or different let's say styles of working, not applications. So for some customers, the best way to go is an on-premise model, which is very common. You have the license and the software is installed in your own data center, as opposed to cloud, where the customer would rent the software for a certain period of time, and SAP would deploy the software on their own data centers. Then if somebody doesn't want that, then they go hybrid, in which they provide both on premise and then on cloud. Why that is? Because they can still save some money, and but they can still have some autonomy on how to run the applications and how to run the softwares, by going half cloud or somewhat cloud and somewhat on premise in their applications. And then finally, it also gives the users the mobile devices access on premise or cloud applications, which wasn't the case previously. Now, talking about what solutions specifically SAP can provide, how what I mean when I say that it's an enterprise resource platform. We have the very basic, which is the finance-led administration. So a company is doing not a lot, but they have basic functions. For example, procure to pay, order to cash, record to report. What those are: procure to pay and order to cash is your end-to-end supply chain process, from procurement to selling. So from the process of buying your raw material, producing something, and then selling it, and getting the money. And at the end, the most crucial one in this is in this type of solution is the finance one, because finance is integrated inside of procure to pay and order to cash. It assimilates within those solutions and gives you the reporting that you require at the end. Your period and closing, financial accounting, and reporting tasks, and other things that you require. But that is the base model. What you can have on top is for service centric industries. I'll give an example of a consultancy where you also have to do some pre sales. You have to plan what you're going to do. There's staffing. There's also project planning because it's a service based industry. You also need to be mindful of that. And then finally, you're billing the client. So SAP offers a solution for service centric industries. And then finally, something for product centric industries where you have idea to market, procure to pay, plan to fulfill, and order to cash. These are different, let's say, levels of solutions within the product centric industries. One thing to know is that even if you have something on top, the base finance led administrative ERP would still be there because those are important processes that you need in any of these industries or for any of these solutions. Then a little more detail about this is that we have financial management, but we also have human capital management. For example, with human capital, it's not just hiring and firing, for which, by the way, SAP also has modules. It's also paying labor, paying managers, paying directors, how the holidays work, how the calendars work. Then you have business network, then you have supply chain management, your spend management, which is your expense recording, or your if you're a service industry, we have a lot of let's say expenses that relate to our own staff, meaning they're flying somewhere to implement, to meet clients, to then they're taking clients to dinner, etc., etc. Then you have production planning for manufacturing, plant maintenance again for manufacturing. Then you have inventory solutions, because for inventories, if some of you are familiar with finance, you have very specific international standards that you need to fulfill when you're recording your inventory. Then you have your customer solutions, artificial intelligence, which is now being embedded into these solutions itself. But then you also have analytical cloud, SAC, which is your planning tool. You have BTP, which Ibrahim will cover later. Then you have cloud. Then you have SMEs and governance and security, because now it's also becoming a concern. With that, I will move a little forward. This is an example of customer stories that are successful who implemented SAP for different. They had the base one, but they added additional things related to SAP, additional modules, additional solutions. For example, you have Mercedes Benz, then you have Maruti, you have PepsiCo, you have Coke, Marco Polo, Solar Industries. So a lot of those things are making use of not just the basic SAP S/4HANA, but on top, they're getting cloud solutions for them. For a lot of these customers, they're getting a module called multi-bank connectivity that is automated, that is on cloud. All your banking solution falls within that. Then all your, let's say, sorry, all your procurement, on top of your procurement solution, your vendor management solutions also fall within these, like Ariba, etc. So these clients they started on SAP a while ago, and now they're just moving forward to make their processes easy, to increase their productivity. When talking about business AI, basically for SAP, the business AI focuses on embedding artificial intelligence directly into the business processes. Instead of being a separate tool, it becomes part of everyday workflows. What it does, it allows users to receive the insights, recommendations, and automation exactly where decisions are being made. So there's no delay in that. It's right at the place where it needs to be. For SAP, the business AI provides a unified experience and improves productivity that I mentioned. It will combine your enterprise data, so something that you already have in your ERP, with AI. And because it's a protected environment, that data doesn't have a risk of being, let's say, violated because it's controlled. And SAP helps it to manage it. How Joule works, Joule is the agent that SAP uses for business AI. Joule, a, Joule has agents that are the key components of SAP Business AI. These agents will understand the full context of a business by using detailed enterprise data. They will work together rather than individually. It's not like you're feeding data to Joule, it's embedded in the solution that it's taking the data directly, which makes it more efficient. These dual agents will help automate complex tasks. It will support decision making because that's the end goal. And then it will reduce manual work, which everybody loves. And then this also allows employees to focus on higher value and more strategic activities without having to deal with pulling the data and pushing the data and all of that because it's built in. A few success stories with business AI are Delta with building a skills-based organization. The Delta Airlines is personalizing talent experiences with an AI-driven talent intelligent hub. So it's a very specific talent-related AI tool that they're using. Then Dar es Salaam assets are using AI for inclusive hiring and personalized learning. Anybody who's an immigrant in another country knows how much this matters. It's not just something to say. I have experienced it personally, and it just helps when the hiring process is unbiased. Then you have a FC Bayern, which is using basically enabling a future-ready workforce using business SAP in their HR processes. Then you have Chobani. They're using the business AI to automate their expenses. SAP has a solution which is called Concur Solutions, and the AI is embedded in that, so it reduces their expenses, the time spent by employees on doing their expenses by 75%. Anybody who's worked in a consultancy knows how much I absolutely hate doing my expenses at the end of the month. It wastes a lot of valuable time. Then we have the pillar, which is automating processes to build the future workplace. Again, it's using blowers and compressors, uses BTP and SAP Business AI to create a digital hub and automate their processes. This is how SAP is enabling all these companies to move forward, to save time, to have an efficient end-to-end solution, not just system-wise, but also when it comes to human resource, to the actual people who are performing the activities. With that, I will thank you and give the floor to Ibrahim. Ibrahim, it's
All right.
yours. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Maria. I hope all of you can hear me